Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm Ed Sexton, and I'm here to discuss three questions that we had on the discussion board assignment this week. The first question deals with solution-focused video that we saw in regards to the doctor or the therapist, the single mom with the two boys. Alright, the question is, in the solution-focused video, you watched a counselor work with a single mom and her two sons. Please summarize what you observed that was consistent with the solution-focused counseling regarding how the counselor conceptualized, operated in this session. Well, first, let us define solution-focused based therapy. And I pulled this up on goodtherapy.org. Solution-focused brief therapy focuses on a person's present and future circumstances and goals rather than past experiences. In this goal-oriented therapy, the symptoms or issues bringing a person to therapy are typically not targeted. Instead, a qualified therapist encourages those in treatment to develop a vision of the future and offer support as they determine the skills, resources, and abilities needed to achieve that vision successfully. And so let's look at again. As the therapist was talking to the two children and the mom, he was trying to get a synopsis or trying to find out what's going on with both of them. One likes homework, the other does not. And then they both talk about fighting. And the mother was integrating the way that she goes in and helps alleviate the fighting. So the solution base, what it does, it aims to help people find tools that can immediately manage symptoms and cope with challenges, and is grounded in the belief that although individuals may already have the skills to create change in their lives, they often need help identifying and developing those skills. Okay, in regards to that, I like the way the therapist went in and asked both boys what they felt was wrong with the problem why they're here. And again, one stated turning in homework. The other stated he likes homework, but he wanted to change his teacher. And also, both of them, including the mom, talked about their fighting, the kids fighting. Okay, what did the counselor do that was consistent with solution-focused theory? What he did, he showed all three clients, the two boys, especially the mom, that the resources are there. They just have to think about it. Okay, they just have to think through them. Okay, prime example. He showed both boys that homework is important. And he showed them, okay, we understand you cannot change your teacher. One of them did say that. So you have to learn to deal with that, or you have to learn to work with that problem. And mom, she gave an intervention where she had both the boys, when they got to fighting really bad, not separate them, but hug each other for 10 minutes. She said it would last for a day, but then the following day it would go south. Okay, so what he used, the way he questioned them, the way he was showing them, okay, this is what you can do. Here are the resources out there. You need to communicate more. Okay? So let's look at the second question. What would the session look like had the theory been narrative family counseling? Okay, first let's define narrative therapy counseling. Narrative therapy was developed by Michael White and David Epstein. Narrative therapy is a method of therapy that separates the person from the problem. Here's the person, there's the problem. And encourages people to rely on their own skills set to minimize the problems that exist in their everyday life. Kind of like a humanistic type viewpoint. you have the skills to resolve this issue. Throughout life, personal experiences are transformed into personal stories that are given meaning and help shape a person's identity. And narrative therapy utilizes the power of a person's personal stories to discover the life purpose of the narrator. Okay, and it asks the question, what would the session look like? I think it would be a little more separating themselves from the problem being homework and fighting. Okay, you are taking that problem away, and you are focusing more, but you're giving meaning to the person's identity. Okay, this utilizes the power of personal stories to discover the life purpose of narrator. I think what you would see is more stories, more incidents that are happening, and how they can be resolved, but how you can separate, the client can separate themselves from the incident. Would there be similarities? Yes, I feel like it would be some similarities. The similarities, maybe one or two that deal with goal-oriented. I mean, this is a goal-oriented therapy. And also, it encourages a vision for the future, okay, to where narrative therapy can do that too. Even though that separates the client from the problem itself, you can still, how do you put it, focus on the future. Focus on how not to do this and what the outcome would be if you did not. Okay? Would there be differences? Yes, there would be. I think with narrative you would have more stories being told of incidents, and where the solution focus, it deals with the actual problem. It doesn't separate the problem from the client. Okay, third question. What diversity, social justice, or advocacy issues were present with this family? Okay, I felt like single mom. Mom was in a power struggle with the children. I think a lot of times what I'm seeing is that she just gets sometimes fed up with the situation to where she just says, you know, the heck with it. You know, I can't deal with this. And I kind of saw that as I was looking at her body language through the video. I did see that she was nervous. She was kind of hesitant in regards to discussing matters like, you know, discussing this. But when she got started, she would say something. She did make the comment about her being strong-willed, and her strong-willed attitude or behavior always kept her through or brought her through a situation. What would you do as a result of these issues, or what would you do? Okay, what I would do is stress more, and I would kind of, as a therapist, I would kind of enhance that strong self-willed in the mom. Okay, here, that's a resource that you have that you can bring into this family circle. And if worked right, you can actually use it to your advantage. Give an example of a resource, type of support or action that you would take based on the issue you named. Okay, support would be to enhance that, again, to enhance that strong-willed behavior in the mom. I say, okay, you being strong-willed, you know, we might can look at ways to enhance that, to have more control over these kids, to let them understand, okay, the importance of, I mean, your role as a mom, single mom, their role as the children. You know, how you're there to help them get an education, to help them succeed, to help them get through school, to help them be able to live independent lifestyle. If you find a resource online in an article book, please let us or show us where you found this information so that others can find and use this in the future. Again, what I did was I went in and found a good website called goodtherapy.org. And I pulled up information on the solution-focused brief therapy and narrative therapy. And it had some really good information, like in regards to the solution base. You have how to use it, techniques used in solution-focused base, and how to train. And in the narrative therapy, I thought it had the principles of narrative therapy, therapy techniques. Both of them had really good techniques and techniques you can use in actually therapeutic relationship. So I thought this was a very good lesson. I really liked the video, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.